Thank you, and a very warm good morning and welcome to all the participants for this webinar. I also thank India Infrastructure Magazine for providing such an opportunity to present. I hope I am audible and clear, right?
You're audible, sir. Volume is a little low. If you can speak a little closer to the mic, maybe.
Just. I'm sorry, my technical guy is also has gone for another meeting, so he just left the system to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So is it audible now?
Yes, better now.
So we'd like to take this opportunity to thank India Infrastructure Magazine for providing this opportunity. As I was just listening to the previous discussion as well, some of the questions and answers. Some of the aspects which are covered by the earlier speaker would also come here and may get repeated, but that's what we do as well. So in Namami Gange program, if you look at the Ganga basin, I would like to start with the presentation. Will go like this. I'm going to talk about the overall Namami Gange program a little bit, and then we'll be looking at the current infrastructure creation in terms of wastewater treatment, what we are doing, and then we'll focus more on the HAM part, because that's a one thing which we would like to promote, and the government of India is also very keen, and now many state governments also showing interest. So what we have done in HAM and where we are, and there are a few opportunities which I'd like to showcase here, which is available with the Namami Gange program. This is how we have structured my presentation. So Ganga basin, if you look at Ganga basin, Ganga covers, Ganga flows close to a distance of about 2,525 kilometers. I'm talking only about the main stem of Ganga, not the tributaries. If you add tributaries, it would be much bigger. So in terms of land mass, it covers 26% of land mass. 43% of India's population is lying in this basin, living in this basin, and it's a habitat for more than 143 different freshwater fish species, including the Gangetic dolphin, the gharial, the golden mahasir, turtles, and otters, like that it goes. And it irrigates more than 57% of India's agricultural land. So this is the size of this river. This is the longest and largest river in this country, and the Namami Gange program is one of the largest environmental conservation efforts undertaken by Government of India. If you look at the efforts that has been done for rejuvenation of River Ganga, it started very somewhere in 1985 when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister of this country. So he started with Ganga Action Plan 1 and then followed by Ganga Action Plan 2, GAP 1 and 2. But if you look at the size of the investment that has gone into this in rejuvenation of the river, it was very small, close to hardly about 1,000 crores, 985 crores approximately. Then in 1995, Government of India came with an idea of National River Conservation Plan. Still the investment size was not adequate to meet the requirement. In 2009, with the support of World Bank, the Government of India came with a new program. It's called National Ganga River Basin Project, which is a $1.5 billion size project, for which $1 billion funding is to be from World Bank. So this paved the way for establishment of the National Ganga River Basin Authority, which was at that point in time, it was said by Prime Minister himself, and then there were other institutional arrangements. But if you look at the size also, once again, it was about close to, as I said, it was $1 billion size, sorry, $1.5 billion size with $1 billion funding from World Bank. Though it started in 2009, the NMCG came in existence in 2011. The National Mission for Clean Ganga came into existence in 2011, and still there was problem. Manning issues were there, and finally, manning issues were sorted out 2013, and somehow it was picking up momentum. So from 1985 to 2009, if you look at the overall kitty was close to 4,000 crores. But when this government came into power in 2014, they came up with a game-changing idea, saying that no, we have to invest more, and then they tripled the whole investment. So it was the Namami Gange program came into existence with the 20,000 crore for the 5-year period, and since then the investment size and everything has gone, has scaled up dramatically. So this is how that in 2016, they rechristened the National Mission for Clean Ganga with a new order, which is called River Ganga Rejuvenation Protection Management Authorities Order. So this order set up many institutions required for effective rejuvenation of the river. Now, the principles which are defined in this order for rejuvenation of river Ganga, there are 10 principles. We would say it says that the Ganga has to be managed as a single system instead of just looking, wastewater treatment as in one aspect or just address on a few issues, then it will get rejuvenated. No, it has to be treated as a single system. So both flow as well as the pollution free, both are to be focused, and also other issues like we have to look at the other qualities of the water in terms of chemical, biological, physical quality, and see how the aquatic species are emerging to indicate, which will be an indicator to show that the river is getting rejuvenated. Then the whole effort should be ecologically sustainable. Then, as I said earlier, the requirement of flow has been the major thrust in this order actually. Then the other aspects like the riparian diversity, biodiversity, protection of that, and protection of the floodplain, and then in the last, the public participation, the involvement of public in the rejuvenation of River Ganga became more important for achieving the success. So this how this order was promulgated in 2016, and with that the National Mission for Clean Ganga has been converted into an authority under Section 3 of the Environment Protection Act, with the power to issue directions to any defaulters who are polluting the river or polluting any water body associated with the river under Section 5 of the Environment Protection Act. Once again, the institutional structure was strengthened by starting a National Ganga Council. This council is chaired by Prime Minister himself, with all the chief ministers and other union ministers as members. Then there is an empowered task force which is chaired by the Minister of Jal Shakti. Then we have a National Mission for Clean Ganga. Then there are state Ganga committees for each state, and then at the district level there are district Ganga committees. So earlier the system was not there. So now the institutional structure helps us a lot in driving the rejuvenation efforts and communicating them to take effective action. So these are the broad interventions under Namami Gange program. It's categorized under four major areas. One is Nirmal Ganga, that means unpolluted river, where all the sewage treatment plants, CETPs, all those aspects comes under the Nirmal Ganga, including decentralized treatment and in situ treatment. Then Agral Ganga is the ecological flow, that means minimum flow required. In National Mission for Clean Ganga has issued a gazette notification, an order to ensure that the minimum flow is maintained in key stretches. The order is very well available in our website. Anybody can see that. And it says about what should be the minimum flow during dry season, or maybe or a lean season, and the monsoon season. So it ranges between, minimum flow ranges between 20 to 30% during these three different seasons. And also you have what should be the four major barrages are being considered, and to see how much they should release, how much water should be released into the river during the off seasons. So for that also certain specifications are given. Then we have Gyan Ganga, where the policy, research, and knowledge management is a key of the key areas covered under this. There is an effort to set up a Ganga. I mean, already there is a Ganga Knowledge Center. There is also an effort to set up Ganga Monitoring Center, where all the data, both from sewage treatment plants and from the river quality monitoring stations and other data coming from different institutions, could be correlated and then analyzed, studied, and then corrective actions can be taken. And at the same time, monitoring can also become effective. Then the fourth component is Jan Ganga, where the people participation. A lot of initiatives have been taken in this direction. We have been conducting various, we have formalized many groups which are working for Ganga. We have Ganga Task Force, which is kind of a military setup, which will help in protecting the river, the boundaries of the river, and as well as activate and then educate people in keeping the environment clean. We also have Ganga Pragaris, Ganga Mitras. We organize many programs, including Ganga Course. Recently, it was conducted and concluded, where we have received a lot of participation. More than 1 million people participated in the Ganga quiz. So these are the 4 major areas covered in the Namami Gange program. More than 330 projects worth of 29,000 crore or 4 billion size have been sanctioned till date. Now I'll just move on directly to the sewage projects. This is the project summary on the sewage side. We have the main stem of Ganga, and then we have the Ganga tributaries. So in main stem of Ganga, we have close to 114 projects. Out of which 59 has been already completed, and others are under various stages of construction as well as tendering. In the tributaries, we have close to 45 projects, and 11 are completed, and rest are all on the tendering and on the various stages of construction. This is the expenditure summary. You will see that this component is only for sewage. So it should not be compared with the 29,000 crore which I have talked earlier. Only for sewage we have sanctioned close to 24,122 crores. Out of its total expenditure till date is 8,303. Now one may think that 1/3 expense has happened. How it is how the scaling up has happened. You should also agree that Namami Gange program is a 100% central funded program. That means it includes both construction cost as well as 15-year O&M cost. So the sanction cost has both. And second, we have large chunk of our projects taken under hybrid annuity-based PPP mode, where only 40% capital cost is to be spent during the construction period, and remaining 60% is spent over a period of 15 years. So we'll come to that later. So that is the reason why the number seems to be kind of different in terms of total expenditure. But as far as the number of projects and achievements are concerned, it is progressing very successfully. Now, this is the innovation. I would like to talk about the innovation which has been thought of in this program, and how does it differ from the earlier efforts. Till 2009, if you look at the including World Bank funded National Ganga River Basin project, the idea was to construct the treatment plant under DBOT or EPC mode, and then and also fund it for 15-year window. But still, the experience shows that there is no ownership for achieving the required treatment quality. If you look at the performance of about 152 sewage treatment plants across the basin, you will see that 43% of them are not meeting the standards. And I mean, either it's partially utilized or defunct. So the effort was more of constructing asset, but then not operating it. So it's kind of a design, build, neglect, and then once again you rehabilitate it and rebuild kind of a model. So we wanted to stop this kind of an approach, and we wanted to ensure that the treatment happens properly. And instead of just creating assets, we wanted to ensure there is an accountability and ownership in terms of performance. And also it has to be financially sustainable. As all of us know that the ULBs who are mandated to do the sewage treatment, they do not have enough funds to maintain these assets, nor they have the technical capacity to do so. So it's very difficult at this juncture to make it self-sustaining on its own, but with the support of government, it can be made. So that is the idea which emerged into adopting this hybrid annuity-based PPP mode. So as you look at any other PPP project, an SPV is formed in this model, and the funding is directly given to that SPV through by the central government funding. And also there are efforts to develop the treated wastewater recycling market. So this is the model. I will not get much into it, most of us know about it. 40% of the capital cost is paid during construction phase, and remaining 60% is paid over a period of 15 years as quarterly annuities. Along with that, we also pay O&M cost At the same time, the interest rate risk and inflation risk are covered by us. When I say this, the construction cost is indexed to change in the WPI and CPI, and the O&M cost is also, when paid, it is indexed to the change in WPI and CPI. When I say interest rate risk, on the balance outstanding, 60% of the balance outstanding, Government of India is paying SBA MCLR plus 3% as interest. So from that perspective, both interest and inflation risks are covered in this program. Now, this is a typical transaction structure under HAM. So you have an ULB, they provide the land and right of way. The project SPV is found by the selected bidder. They fund it through their own equity and the term loans or working capital from the bankers or any financial institutions. They develop it, build it, and operate it. And NMCG also appoints a project engineer who will support the concerned executing agencies. In our case, the executing agencies are the state government entities, like in Uttar Pradesh, we have Uttar Pradesh Jal Nigam. In the case of West Bengal, it is KMDA or KMC, Kolkata Municipal Corporation, or Kolkata Metropolitan Development Authority. So NMCG also opens an escrow account, which we typically call as a payment security mechanism. We'll talk about in the next slide, and fund the project through a particular way. This is the typical project timeline. About, if you look at the appointed date means the signing of the concession agreement. And the CP, we are giving 4 months time. This is a little less than other the other PPPs, because in other PPPs you will find that the land acquisition takes a lot of time. Here, mostly the land is available even before the project. So the CP period is just kept as 4 months. In some cases, it becomes 6 months, but that is acceptable kind of. Then the effective date is announced, and about close to 24 months, and it's 21 months of construction, 3 months of trial operation is prescribed for a typical STP project. And then the COD, the commercial operation date, is announced, and from there 15 years of O&M, and then finally after the O&M it's transferred back. This is a salient feature of the HAM model developed by NMCG, apart from what you see the HAM model, other HAM models in other sector like roads. There is a payment security mechanism we have created. Now, as per this mechanism, NMCG opens an account in a bank, in an escrow bank, and deposits 2 construction milestone payments during construction period, and 2 years of annuity and O&M payments, including interest amount in the account, and maintain it throughout the period. So during construction period is 2 construction milestones, and during operation period it is 2 years of annuity and interest and O&M charges. So this has helped attracting many investors to feel free that their payments are secured and the payment is available, it is visible to them, and that's the reason we got a lot of interest. We could secure a lot of interest from the market players. These are the first set of projects, though these photographs are a little old, but the projects are now completed, or all completed now. So Haridwar, we have 68 MLD at Jagdishpur and 14 MLD at Sarai. This project is commissioned in last June 2020, and it is successfully operating and meeting all the desired standards which is prescribed in the concession agreement. This was awarded to HNB Engineers Limited. It's a small company in Pune. This is another revolution. If you look at this particular space, we come to know large international players only operating in the water sectors, and it's occupied by them. But when we opened up the sector, we could see medium and small players coming inside and doing a very good job in terms of completing the project on time and also achieving the desired parameters. Varanasi, this project is awarded to SL. The project is now complete. Trial run has started. Some minor works are remaining. Maybe within 2 months' time, the commercial operation date will be announced. Before developing the tender documents and the structure, we had a lot of consultations with the market players, with financial institutions, with consultants, with government entities, and then developed the tender document. So there's a lot of acceptance about the documents, and Niti Aayog has endorsed our document as model HAM document for liquid waste management. From single projects, we moved on to another concept which is called one city, one operator. This is the paradigm shift in the sector actually. Because now under one umbrella, under one contract, you will find that the entire sewage treatment in the city has been brought into. And there is a single ownership and accountability. So under this concept, the existing assets which are to be rehabilitated or just operated are also covered along with the development of new treatment plants, and it is packaged under a single contract through HAM, and it's operated by the concessionaire for a period of 15 years. So this gives size as well as potential to attract major investments in this sector. So we have this kind of approach in Prayagraj, where the existing treatment capacities of 254 MLD and new capacity of 72 MLD. We have it in Kanpur, 425 existing MLD and the new plant of 50 MLD, total 475 MLD. Mathura, Howrah, Patna. Patna is a little different, but I'll touch upon it in the subsequent slides. Though Patna is not under the one city, full one city, one operator concept, but it has a different flavor altogether. Farrukhabad, Mirzapur and Ghazipur, Magheshshala recently awarded. We also have Bhagalpur in Bihar, which is also recently awarded. This is the evolution how we reach from a single project to one city, one operator. Now, if you look at in Howrah, Allahabad, Kanpur, the excess brownfield assets as well as greenfield assets are packaged together. But in Patna, it's a very unique case where the sewage treatment plant is under HAM and the sewer network is under DBOT. So it is a kind of a stitched contract where you have sewer network is network managed through the normal EPC DBOT contract and STP under HAM under a single umbrella contract. So this is an unique structuring, project structuring, and we have also seen that we have also kept certain cross linkages between these contracts so that there is enough incentive for the concessionaire to complete both the projects on time. As I was talking about reuse and recycle of treated effluent, as far as our HAM projects are concerned, reuse of treated wastewater and the recycling of sludge both are kept open, and the concessionaire is given freedom to reuse it. But in some places it has started, but not much interest has been developed due to various reasons. The entire Ganga belt is water-rich area, so reuse water potential seems to be little low. But then, with our efforts, I think it will gain momentum, and we will see major change in the situation. Now, one project particularly we have tied up the reuse of treated water as mandatory is the Mathura project, where 20 MLD treated water is to be supplied to the IOCL. This project is also under HAM because this is packaged along with other infrastructure, other assets, both existing assets as well as new treatment plant sewage treatment plant constructed in Mathura under a single contract. IOCL will pay the entire O&M cost and the power charges to NMCG, and also will pay a tariff of 8 rupees 70 paise per KLD for the water consumed to compensate towards the capital cost. A separate agreement has been signed between IOCL and NMCG for 15 years. Government of India has also, in the last session, there was a talk whether there is a policy for reuse of treated water. Yes, there is a policy. The tariff policy of Government of India 2016 makes mandatory that all this thermal power plants to take water which from the STP situated within 50 kilometer radius and use them. That means they have to, of course, they have to treat it, and the effect on their tariff is not much. It comes to a few paise. So government has made it mandatory. In some plants it has started. For example, Meza plant in Prayagraj, they have agreed, and the work is on. Probably it will get over, and they will consume the water. So like that, there are efforts. We are also having tie-up with the Ministry of Finance. We have an agreement with the Ministry of Finance. We have an agreement with the Ministry of Railways for reuse of water. It's for wagon washing and for non-potable usages. There are efforts which are going on. We are talking to them, and probably it will happen on a larger scale. This is the total opportunity available under HAM. We have about 27 projects in 17 packages. Already 13 packages have been awarded. Work has started for more than 7 projects, 7 packages, and one is completed and one is nearing completion. Third one, Madurai, is also nearing completion. Soon it will be completed. I think in another 4 to 5 months' time, we will achieve the COD for Mathura. Bids have been received for one. There are 3 projects which are under bidding. The total size is under HAM is about 1.2 billion. There is 9,500 crores. Till date, we have mobilized close to 154 million. There is 1,156 private capital, and there is a potential for total potential is about 250 to 85 million US dollars. These are the kind of players we are there in this space, in the HAM space. We have bidders like we have some of the funds. We have small project companies. There we have bigger infrastructure players. And lending is coming from mostly coming from private banks. Public sector banks are a bit skeptical to step in, but still we have got 2 projects funded by SBI. We also have a funding for a particular project. There is Howrah Bali Baranagar in West Bengal from International Finance Corporation. Then we have project engineers like AECOM, Shah Technical, Mahindra, Royal Haskell, BHP, Aegis, transaction advisors. You can see the names. IFC was our initial transaction advisor. Then we have other big consultancy firms like Deloitte, KPMG, AT Kearney, and PwC. Experience, as far our experience is concerned, bidders are very choosy about their geography and the size of the project. That's the reason when we understood this, we started even packaging the geographies together. We have a Mirzapur and Ghazipur, which are close to 90 kilometers apart, but we package them together as a single project. And also we started packaging the other assets in the city so that the considerable size is available for them to invest. Land issues, of course, there are certain pockets where land issues are still there. They have acquired land. There are certain issues where the local government has to clear that those issues still remain. But because for them, there's a business usual problem. The local agencies, they don't gear up to and raise to the occasion because there is a lot of lack of capacity. Though we have tried to build the capacity with them for the last few years, we have been working closely with them. But still, they have to raise to the occasion, and also that they have to understand that the partnership in true sense, instead of looking from the principal agent problem in a normal, typical contractual situation. So then the bandwidth of wastewater investors. If you look at the wastewater investors, the number of investors are very low in this country. There are a few big players who are multinational players. There are a few Indian players, big. They are also big, and then it's more of small players. They do not have the investable capacity. So we made a point that they can also come inside if they find out an investor. So investor may not have an experience, but the player will not be in a position to invest. So we made them to tie up. So we, after April 2019 market consultation, we ensured that the EPC players can come inside as subcontractors. So there are certain locking mechanisms for them. Without equity investment, they can participate. There are certain locking mechanisms to safeguard our interest. That we see a lot of interest. For example, in the latest bid, which is the 65 MLD in Bareilly, in Uttar Pradesh, we got close to 10 bidders for the first time. This is for the first time in the history of nation in an investment project in wastewater sector. We are getting 10 bidders. Then optimization of recycle of sludge and reuse of wastewater, there is also to be experimented more. And priority lending, there's another demand from market that lending for water sector should be declared as priority lending. But we are examining that. We'll be talking to Ministry of Finance and see to what extent it is required and take the matter further. Strategic timing of the project procurement, that's very important, because when you bring more investment projects on the table, you will find they may have other opportunities which are demanding, so they might go to that direction. So we have to see how the projects are at what time the projects are tendered. So it's better you stagger the procurement instead of just putting everything together. You bring it in phases so that the people take up one by one, and then you will find that you have enough players available. This is the latest innovation which we have brought inside, which is the IBRD guarantee mechanism. As I said earlier, we have a payment security mechanism wherein we deposit 2 milestone payment during construction period and 2 years of annuity and O&M cost during O&M period in the escrow account. Now, with this IBRD guarantee, we will reduce the deposit in the escrow account to 1 milestone payment during construction and 1 quarter of annuity and O&M payment during operation period. Now, World Bank stands as our as the guarantor for our payment, and there is a mechanism available where we will be having a tie-up with a LC bank, and the project SPV can draw from the LC bank if the money is not paid by the escrow bank, or if the money is not available in the escrow bank. In other words, if money is not available in the escrow bank can draw from the LC bank and pay to the concessionaire, and that by calling upon the IBRD guarantee. Then World Bank will discuss and negotiate with the government of India or NMCG for that matter to replenish the guarantee again. And $19 million funding has been kept earmarked for this IBRD guarantee purpose. We are testing this guarantee product in 3 projects. One project is already under tender, which is Agra, and other project is just coming for tender in another 1.5 months time, which is Meerut. And then the third project which is to be covered under this guarantee scheme is Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh. Now, these are some of the live tenders which are opportunities available. Agra sewage scheme, right now the bid due date is 12th July, but you can see, but it will be extended because we just completed the pre-bid meeting, and then we are preparing the replies to pre-bid queries. You'll be surprised now we have received close to, for a wastewater project, more than 1,000 queries have been received. That means you can see that, I mean, 23 companies came for the pre-bid meeting. We hope the response to this project will be much better. The date will be extended, so there's an opportunity for people to participate. We have a Meerut scheme, which is single plant 220 MLD. This is the largest STP plant under Namami Gange Programme given under a single contract. Though there are projects which are up to 150 MLD in Patna, the single plant was 100 MLD, but this is single 220 MLD plant. Which is floated under HAM, and this will come within 2-3 weeks time. The tender should be out. Similarly, Ayodhya 33 MLD in Uttar Pradesh, and then Hooghly Chinsura. This is a live tender which is going on. This is not HAM but DBOT project. Okay, so now what is the impact till date after you started in 2014 with a huge investment? Then, though considering the Ganga, size of Ganga, it is not huge, but still considerable investment in this sector. And now we can see the improvement in water quality in certain sectors. For example, Uttarakhand, you can see that the water quality has drastically improved. The DO levels in this area is absolutely good, and only 2 stretches are now left as a priority stretch or what we call critical stretch. Rest all are being almost have recovered. And we could also see the Gangetic dolphin population increasing. So recently we spotted some of the dolphin calves, small calves. So indicating that there is a considerable improvement in the river quality. So these are all the impacts and the overall view of Namami Gange Programme. I stop here and I would like to take the questions, if at all.
Thank you, sir.